On today's IRS tax refund update, we will take a look at the latest developments, including the next batches of tax refunds scheduled for release this week. And from there, we will recap some of the ongoing issues facing tax filers, including no updates to their refund status results and tax transcripts since filing, as well as those encountering the action required message when checking on their refunds, and the two scenarios that are likely to be causing that, along with the 570 and 971 tax transcript codes. Now, starting out with the latest, as the next rounds of tax refunds are scheduled to be released by the IRS on February 25th, 26th, and 28th, as confirmed by the refund status results and tax transcript seen here. And if you are in fact part of this latest refund batch and will be receiving that refund via direct deposit, you should receive that refund posted to your bank account by that refund date, if not before, depending on your bank. However, do allow 5 additional days before initiating a payment trace if you have not received that refund. Meanwhile, if you are going to be receiving that refund by paper check, most will receive within 7 to 10 days of that posted refund date. But in your case, you must allow up to 30 days to receive before initiating a payment trace. It is also important to note that all refund holds due to the PATH Act, which are those refunds containing the Earned Income Tax Credit and additional child tax credit, were removed the week of February 17th, and those impacted refunds started going out last week. And if you are still seeing PATH Act messages when checking your refund status results, those messages will disappear over the next several days once updates have been made to the Where's My Refund system. And a reminder to all of you waiting on refunds that your refund status results may not always update, so it is important to check your tax transcripts and locate the 846 code, which will represent your refund has been released. Turning to those tax filers who are still not seeing any updates to their refund status results and tax transcripts as seen here, this continues to be an ongoing problem being reported by our viewers, and one we usually see especially during the first month of the tax filing season. Now, as a reminder, although we usually see tax transcripts updated within 2 weeks of someone filing their tax return, it could take up to a month to see an update. And since we are still within the first month of the tax season, which started back on January 27th, we are still within that time frame, while most tax processing will in fact be completed within 21 days of filing. Now, it is also important to note for you early tax filers who filed before the tax season started on January 27th that you will not be able to count that 21-day time frame before that official start date. Moving on to other issues impacting tax filers waiting on their tax refunds, including encountering the yellow action required message when checking their refund results online. And there are 2 top reasons why this is happening. Starting out with, the IRS has identified a possible issue with your tax return, which will result in them mailing you a letter requesting further information. And the likely cause of this is the IRS computer system has identified an issue with the wage or withholding amounts you filed on your tax returns and needs documentation from you to support what you entered on your tax return, such as a W-2 or 1099, along with copies of pay stubs. Now, while in past years, tax filers had no other choice but to mail those documents to the IRS, in recent years, they are allowing those forms to be uploaded online, which will reduce the wait and processing time. The second reason behind the action required message as seen here is the need to complete ID verification, and in most cases the selection is completely random. And regardless of whether or not you have had any previous tax filing issues in the past, and if you are impacted by this particular issue, the IRS will mail you out a letter, usually the 5071C letter, which will include a 14-digit number needed to complete the ID verification process online. And in most cases, this process can be completed in a matter of minutes. And although the IRS states allow up to 9 weeks to receive your refund after ID verification is successful, most in past years have received those tax refunds within 2 to 3 weeks, barring any additional issues with the filed tax return. Many viewers impacted by delays also continue to report seeing the 570 and 971 codes on their tax transcripts as seen here. Now, the 570 represents a potential issue with your tax return requiring additional action by the IRS, while the 971 code represents a letter the IRS will be sending out. And it is important to note the dates next to these 2 codes. And if these 2 codes have the same date, that means the IRS has corrected the issue, and the refund will in fact be released with no further action necessary. However, if you see the codes with 2 different dates, like seen in this tax transcript, that means the issue remains unresolved, and to wait for that letter to arrive, which will either explain the IRS needs additional time processing your return, or they will request specific documentation for tax processing to continue. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax issue. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.